Throughout the years, the Ben 10 cartoon series has seen many video games that go along with its various series, and now we have a new one based on the most recent 2016 reboot of the franchise. But is this a Ben 10 out of 10, or is it more like a Ben 0? In Ben 10, you're playing as Ben Tennyson, who has the ability to transform into 10 different alien monsters, each of which have their own fighting style and a few unique abilities to help you throughout beating up enemies as well as traversing the levels. The game features a pretty bare-bones storyline, some cutscenes at the beginning and end of levels to progress things along nicely, but it's nothing too spectacular. Your main goal is to just fight your way through wave after wave of enemies, do a bit of platforming, and get to the end of each one of the game's 6 stages. You start off with only having a few of the aliens unlocked from the beginning, and you'll unlock the rest as you progress through. You can change between whichever alien you want to play as at any point just by holding down the trigger button. When your health gets too low though, you'll automatically transform back into Ben for a period of time until your health regenerates enough so you can re-transform into an alien, but at least you have the ability to fight as Ben when you accidentally have to go back into that form. The other aliens, as you unlock them, are just kind of given to you randomly. You'll get to a spot where you need a certain alien to cross a certain gap or get up a certain wall, and the game just flat out gives you that new one. There's no boss fights to face off with, or rescuing them, or grabbing an item, or anything impactful to the story. It just flat out gives you whichever alien you need for whatever situation you've made it to. All 6 of the game's levels play pretty much identical to one another, though every other one there's a boss fight at the end of the stage. But basically, you do a little bit of platforming, you may have to use a alien ability or two, then you'll face off in an arena with the monsters. You just battle them all, once they're all defeated, you do the same thing, platform a little bit, maybe use an ability, and then you're facing off with another arena-filled area of creatures. They do change up between the levels though, so at least you're not fighting the same exact monsters over and over again, but there still really isn't much variety to the gameplay and even the different types of enemies. The platforming gameplay is okay, it gets the job done. It can be a bit finicky as far as making sure you land on the spot exactly you want to, but even if you mess up a jump and you fall off a ledge, you only lose a little bit of health and set back just a second or two. The bosses at the end of the levels, I wish there were at least more of them. There are plenty of villains in the Ben 10 world. They could have thrown in at least a few more, considering there's only the 6 levels and 3 boss fights included in the game as it is. Each of the aliens, though, does have a special move they're able to pull off in combat, such as being able to pick up enemies and throw them, or being able to do a butt stomp that causes an earthquake to defeat enemies all around them. While you're going through each level, defeating monsters, wrecking the various parts of the environment, and there's a decent amount of things at least you can beat up in the environment to get extra bits of money that you can then spend to upgrade your alien. Each alien has 3 upgrades that they're able to get, all costing the same amount for each alien, and they only moderately end up really helping out each of these alien forms. There's also collectible cards you can find in each level. There's 3 in each of the stages to find. From the technical side of things, the game didn't crash on me, but it does struggle to run at times, freezing or slowing down a lot during more intense battles. Almost in every single instance of getting into some sort of fight, the game would slow down at least a little bit here and there. Overall, Ben 10 isn't horrendous, but it isn't particularly great either. It may be able to satisfy a few hours for young gamers out there, but for diehard fans of Ben 10, other games with the Ben 10 license have been done much better. The game is also just way too expensive for the amount of game you're going to get here. I highly recommend waiting for it to go down a bit in price. It took me less than an hour and a half in order to play through the game's story. With all that said, you're definitely going to want to wait for a price drop, but as it sits, I'm going to be giving Ben 10 a 5 out of 10. But anyway guys, it's going to wrap up this review. I'd like to thank you for watching, and of course I hope you enjoyed.